Especially who's in the house, we see Uncoolparanoia there.
What's happening, good people? Thanks so much for taking the time to check out the video. I just wanted to share a few quick thoughts on the secret, unregulated California lab story. So it's just interesting how they just demand building on the alleged COVID lab leak story. So they're just going to take it just as far as they can. They're just going to go balls to the wall with it. And this story just reminded me a few things that I wanted to share with you in a video game that came out in the late 90s, Resident Evil 2, and a few other thoughts that I had. So yeah, let's take a look at this one particular article here. They like to lead with the fear narrative here. I noticed on the USA Today. Fairly shocking. Just go ahead and just grab your attention right there. Oh, what's shocking? What happened? Secret medical lab in California stored bioengineered mice laden with COVID. Because COVID is making its way back into all the headlines. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of like lockdowns coming up soon or something. But who knows? But hey, it is what it is. We knew thanks to T-Rump, the world ended as we knew it. So yeah, this is the new normal, huh? But anyway, I'm getting into something else. So a months-long investigation into a rural California warehouse uncovered an illegal laboratory filled with infectious agents, medical waste, and hundreds of mice bioengineered to catch and carry the COVID-19 virus, according to Fresno County authorities. And I guess this is allegedly a picture from the lab, but who knows? Health and Licensing said Monday that Prestige Biotech, a Chinese, they just gonna roll with this narrative, a Chinese medical company registered in Nevada, was operating the unlicensed facility in Reedley, California, a small city about 24 miles southeast of Fresno. The company, according to Reedley city manager Nicole Ziba, had a goal of being a diagnostics lab. So yeah, I'm not going to go ahead and dive into this story here. At this point, I'm sure you have, heard of it. Cat Dog Cat detected at least 20 infectious agents. So I'm going to cut to a clip real quick and just give a few of my thoughts and show some of the predictive programming that is related to the mice narrative, how the mice spread the plague and the scamdemics. So let's go ahead and dive into this clip real quick.
Investigators in California are looking into the origins of an unauthorized biolab testing facility that was discovered in the city of Reedley. Concern was immediately raised after the lab was found with at least 20 different infectious agents, from herpes to malaria, COVID, all being stored inadequately, messy, right? You're looking at some of the images from inside. Investigators also discovered nearly 1,000 mice being bioengineered and caged in inhumane conditions. Many of them were dead when they got there. Officials say a Chinese medical company.
Trust me, it's Chinese.
It comes from China. That's why. It comes from China. I want to be accurate.
Was operating this unlicensed facility, and any investigation into the origins of the company is turning up empty. Local leaders are now under fire after it was discovered the county learned of the illegal lab back in December, but that the public wasn't alerted until months later. Lawmakers are now calling on Congress to investigate this. There is fear. This lab leak may resemble what we saw in Wuhan, China, and allegations around a leak there and the start of COVID-19.
Resident Evil 2. This way.
It's sheer perfection. My precious G-Virus. My precious G-Virus. No one will ever take you away from me.
There he is.
So you finally come.
Doctor, we're here to collect the G-Virus sample.
Sorry, but I won't just hand over my life's work.
Stop it. You might hit the sample. That's it, all right. Okay, let's move out.
William. Oh my. Hold on, darling. I'm taking care of that bullet wound first. Stay here.
Alpha team, have you retrieved the sample yet?
Affirmative. We'll be at the rendezvous point in 1 minute.
Roger.
Are you telling me that he injected the G-Virus into his own body?
The G-Virus has the ability to revitalize cellular functions.
What was that? Something's wrong. Let's check it out. Over there! Shoot it! Eat this, you freak! The guns aren't stopping it! What is this thing? Hurry! What is this thing? Fire! Fire! You son of a...
So those rats were the carriers of the virus?
As a result of his virus-induced transmutation, William should have lost any prior memories he had as a human by now. I tried to save him, but I'm afraid it's already too late.
But...
And that's not even the entire story. Every G-Virus bioweapon, including William, has the ability to implant embryos into other life forms. That's why he's after Sherry.
What are you trying to say?
The bodies of individuals with non-related genetic coding are likely to reject the embryo, but since Sherry is his daughter, that possibility is non-existent.
Annette!
You killed William! I'll never forgive you for that!
Wait!
I've just prepared a sample of the G-Virus, and this time, no one will take it from me. This is the most significant piece of research my husband has ever left in my hands.
Stop it! Sherry's in serious trouble. William implanted her with his embryos. There's no telling when they'll pupate. And if that happens, then Sherry won't...
What? William... William... You're alive. William is still alive. He's getting stronger with each skin he casts off. Sherry!
Tell me what I need to know. How can I save Sherry?
I have detailed information. Everything you need to know to prepare the antidote is right here.
How y'all liking that one-eye symbolism? And to think, this video game released back in 1998 originally. It's wild, right? I mean, the Bible does tell us that there is nothing new under the sun. And as you can see, this is the original artwork from the game that it released on the first PlayStation. See, we got a little bit of the red and blue here, left-right paradigm, along with the one-eye symbolism, of course. So yeah, so in addition to the rats being the carriers of the virus narrative, look what else I came across in this video game. Like, if I haven't knocked your socks off already, check this out. Annette mentions that she has detailed files on how to prepare the antidote, and that is the savior of the world, the toxone, of course. Instructions for synthesis of the G-Virus antigen, G-toxone, codenamed Devil. Like, can you believe that? The literal toxone, or the cure, or the solution, is literally called Devil. Isn't that wild? Any beings infected by the G-Virus will reproduce through the impregnation of an embryo within another living being. Unless rejected by the host, the embryo will undertake a process of gradual cellular invasion, infecting the host cells on a molecular level as it rewrites their DNA. I mean, what does this sound like? To get the seed of the woman, to get her to rewrite your DNA. Interesting stuff, right? It's crazy that this was in this video game. Once the metamorphosis is complete, the host will be capable of continuing this cycle of self-replication. The duration of time for this process to run its course will vary from subject to subject. In the early stages of cellular invasion, it is possible to halt progression of the metamorphosis through the administration of the G-toxone antigen. The following procedure details its synthesis. The next stages of the game tell you how to make the savior of the world, the toxone. Wild stuff, right? So within the video game, the company that is behind the whole virus leak narrative is none other than the Umbrella Corporation. This is their logo. Now, when I was younger, watching my brother play this video game, I could never understand why they chose the Umbrella as their corporation. Like, you really think nothing of it at the time. I mean, you're a younger kid just playing this video game, looking like, oh wow, look at all the special effects. But there's so much symbolism behind this, it's ridiculous. But for those who don't know, the umbrella symbolically represents a syringe. Did you know that? It's like a nested reality, things within things. I'm going to show you a couple of things about it. Now, this is the basic anatomy of your typical umbrella. Nothing special. But what we want to pay attention to is this part right here. This part just so happens to be called the ferrule. Ferrule, ferrule. The ferrule is the cone-shaped ring that goes on top of the umbrella to hold the canopy in place and finish it smoothly. Now, just the name of this part just kind of makes me think of, certain symbolic representations, things within things. Ferrule, the pharaoh rules. How they're trying to resurrect the old gods, emphasis on lowercase g with that god, fallen angels. I don't know if you guys have seen the footage of the Egyptian coffins, the coffins of the mummies being carried, from one city to the next. They're old gods, fallen angels. Yeah, the pharaoh rules. And one other thing I just noticed, this part right here called the ribs. And interestingly enough, the rib bone is the only bone in the human body that contains the cells for regeneration. And the so-called G-virus aided cells in regeneration. Interesting. Yeah. And that's exactly the same bone that that Christ used to create the woman. It's interesting how all of this stuff goes back to the cross. All of it goes back to the biblical worldview, because the biblical worldview is the only worldview that explains what we're going through. So anyway, I can just be rambling and go into something else. But anyway, so back to the ferrule. Fe. You know what Fe made me think about? I'm gonna show you. This right here. Iron. Iron is the element on the periodic table, whose symbol is Fe. Iron is a chemical element with atomic number 26 and symbol Fe. It is a metal that belongs to the periodic table's first transition series and group 8. Oh, it just gets sweeter. The element has been known from prehistoric times. The symbol Fe is derived from the Latin ferrum, for firmness. Now we got to remember, this is the tip of the umbrella, or the symbolic representation of the tip of the syringe, the needle, the hard part, the iron, what they're trying to get into your body, right? And I actually used to work as a pharmacy technician. So when I see stuff like this, it naturally makes me think of the name of certain drugs, because of course, Big Pharma synthesized it and created iron sulfate, ferrous sulfate, Ferrous. See the Fer just like the ferrule, the iron. I'm just showing you guys examples that I'm just not pulling something out of thin air here. The stuff is real. Ferrous sulfate is a type of iron that's used as a medicine to treat and prevent iron deficiency anemia. Iron helps the body to make healthy red blood cells, which carry oxygen around the body. Now, you might ask, what's the connection here? Now, let's go back to the biblical worldview. Let's go back to the scriptures. Of course, Daniel chapter 2, verse 43. KJV, of course. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And that is exactly what they're attempting to do, mix the iron with the clay. Yep, the syringe is the iron and the body is the clay, because we're in this together to get her, the seed of the woman. Crazy, right? Now, I know I kind of went all over the place with this video, but once I get going into research and then it just keeps going and going. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I just wanted to share some of my thoughts. Now, once I had heard about the California lab leak and the whole mice connection, it made me think of the video game and the rats, and then it just kind of spun off from there. So I appreciate you guys for watching and listening to my crazy thoughts. So let me know in the comment section, what do you think about it? So yeah, apart from that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up right here. So thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. God bless you all. Where the paranoia is most certainly uncool, I am out of here. Later.